Monfragüe National Park radiates that character of extraordinary places because many of the creatures inhabiting it are extraordinary, such as the Spanish imperial eagle. Very few skies, and none outside the Iberian Peninsula, have this threatened bird of prey as their absolute monarch. This crown sometimes involves some tiresome obligations. For example, having constantly to demonstrate who is in charge around here. Even to an absent-minded black vulture whose only crime is enjoying a sunny. Over 2,000 years later, that indomitable Mons Fragorum has become Monfragüe, an environment which fully retains that wild character and teems with an amazing diversity of animal and plant life which has made it unique. Despite the continuous and always intimidating flight of the Spanish imperial eagle, at daybreak it is peaceful on the dizzying heights of the crag where there is a colony of griffon vultures. As soon as they can take advantage of the air currents, they take flight. As the vulture's breeding season is in full swing, they spend the day looking for materials they can make a good nest with. The constant coming and going of the pairs only stops for them to copulate, which they will do some 70 times before the female finally lays the eggs and incubation begins. A black stork likes nothing better for building its nest than a steep and inaccessible place near the course of a river where food is abundant. So it's not surprising that it's so fond of the crags where the vultures nest. They have flown from beyond the Sahara Desert, where they spend the winter, to be reunited with their mates, probably in the place where they nested in previous years. They now begin a happy time of flight, courtship, and play on the edge of the abyss. As the sun goes down, many of the inhabitants of Monfragüe National Park retire to their refuges before the onset of darkness makes them easy prey for the hunters of the night. But for others, it is precisely the time to let themselves be seen. Or rather, let themselves be heard. The Mediterranean tree frog is one of the smallest amphibians in Europe, where it is restricted to southern Spain and France and northwestern Italy. But when the mating season comes, it literally grows in an amazing manner. The male's tactic to attract a mate is to draw a female's attention by croaking as loudly as possible. In order to do this, they swell up to twice their size. And it's not only their size which increases, but also their decibels. Their vocal sacs serve as amplifiers to such an extent that this frog is one of the European amphibians with the most powerful voices. Not far from where the Mediterranean tree frogs are singing so ardently on their operatic night, another performance is beginning in which there is no room for pretense. The life of one of the actors is at stake. More acute senses, intuition, experience, simply a stroke of luck. Or perhaps all this combined has saved the mouse, which can enjoy the safety of its burrow. For the moment. Another of the amazing inhabitants of Monfragüe also has its burrow underground. The ocellated lizard. The largest saurian in Western Europe is a self-confessed sun lover. It needs the sun simply to move about. So it spends its nights as it spends the winter, hidden underground, waiting for the sun to shine again with all its force. We can consider the black-winged kite to be a recent arrival in the bountiful universe of Monfragüe National Park. Indeed, in the first half of the 20th century, it was only found in Africa and southern Asia. But since then, this small bird of prey with the enigmatic glance has colonized territories further and further to the north. In contrast to the black-winged kite, which lives here permanently, the black kite migrates from Africa in order to rear its chicks. Brotherliness does not seem to prevail among the offspring of the black kite. Rather the opposite. The larger nestling does not hesitate to take advantage of his size to make it quite clear to his brother who is going to eat first when Mum comes home. Perhaps when Dad returns, little brother will have better luck. At the home of the great tits, things are more peaceful, although there is a constant coming and going of the parents bringing food to their young. A menu of mostly insects and larvae arrives at the comfortable hollow in the olive tree which the pair of great tits has prepared for their chicks. The heart of Monfragüe beats where the river Vulture joins the all-powerful river Tagus. These two watercourses sustain the vitality of this ecosystem in which 1,600 species of plants grow. The abundance of water means that there is also a multitude of aquatic bird species which crowd its banks with nests. Families of all colors and sizes with a single purpose, helping their young to fly alone one day. There's no doubt that the nestlings of the cattle-legged colony are among the boldest and most impulsive of those being raised in this riverside woodland. Some of them learn the hard way that they must not enter other people's nests looking for food. There can be no mercy for someone who has come to steal. This fledgling will no doubt remember the lesson he has learnt a long time after the wound has healed. And he can think himself lucky because at least he has lived to tell the tale. We can imagine what Brer Fox must be thinking when he sees another food opportunity slipping away in the water. But he's not the only one who has come down to the river in search of prey. Anyone who may be around must stay alert, because the genet is one of the most skilled hunters of those found in Monfragüe National Park, and no one can feel safe when it's around, not even other hunters. Staying alive in such a dangerous environment requires efficient resources. And one inhabitant of Monfragüe stands out for its ingenious and most unusual defense system. The Iberian ribbed newt has the ability to use its own ribs as poisonous darts to convince anyone that trying to get its teeth into it is not a good idea. When faced with a threat, this amphibian can make its ribs come through its skin, impregnated with the contents of poison glands. But this efficient defense system cannot protect it from a different kind of threat: the decimation of its habitats on the Iberian Peninsula and in northern Morocco, the only places on the planet where it lives. The Iberian ribbed newt spends most of its life in or near water. It needs to keep its skin moist because it breathes through it. Moreover, it is in the water where it finds its favorite food. The enormous vitality of the various water masses attracts a wide variety of hunters, each with its particular method of capture. But very few can equal the purple heron in power and skill. The strawberry tree is one of the most characteristic trees of the Mediterranean woodland which thrive in Monfragüe National Park. It is also the favorite of the largest butterfly in Europe as a food plant for its progeny. The relationship is so intimate that it is even known in Spanish as the strawberry tree butterfly. The female of the two-tailed pasha lays only one egg on each leaf. In this way, it ensures that its caterpillars will have enough food to grow without competition. They slough off their old skin like a suit which has become too tight. But instead of discarding it, they eat it. This is a smart move as they make use of its nutrients and furthermore leave no traces that might put a predator on their track. The great moment has come. The caterpillar secretes a chrysalis in which it shuts itself up so that once again the miracle is worked. The birth of another totally different creature, a two-tailed pasha. Instead of a place that they can eat, the strategy of other mothers to help their young consists of building them a cradle as comfortable as it is resistant. Last autumn, a female European mantis produced this egg purse with individual cells in which she has laid her eggs to culminate her life cycle. When spring arrives, the nymphs all come out together. Although they are young, they already have the character of the European mantis, so it is best for them to disperse quickly, just in case one of their sisters attacks them to eat them up. These ocellated lizards spend the early hours of the morning literally warming up. They depend completely on the sun if their bodies are to reach the optimum body temperature which sets their muscles in motion. They need all their energy because they are hunters which neither stalk nor lie in wait. They prefer to track their prey and attack them when they are off guard. Patience. Life is full of second opportunities when food needs to be found, especially if you live in a place as bountiful as Monfragüe. In the nest of the melodious warblers, the uncertainties us. The seasons succeed each other, and the new life no longer fits in the nests where it was born. It seems that the young can no longer wait to go forth to discover the world. What should I do? The brother of this young European green woodpecker has already become emancipated, although we suspect it was rather by accident. So, although he is also all for adventure, his more restrained character helps to make his exit much less pitiful. At the home of the Egyptian vultures, the young still need more time to learn to fend for themselves, so the long-suffering parents have to continue with the daily task of looking for food. The smallest of the European vultures is easy to keep happy. It is capable of extracting the last scrap of food from the remains, even those of small animals which it finds on its reconnaissance flights. Neither does it turn up its nose at the manure of domestic animals and other types of waste. But when what is at stake is a large carcass, or many birds appear, The Egyptian vulture knows that things will be more difficult, because in the world of scavengers, size dictates who will serve himself first. And if it's a case of wingspan, none of the diners can challenge the privileged position of the black vulture at the table. It's not for nothing that it is the bird with the largest wingspan in the skies of Europe. And Monfragüe National Park is home to its largest breeding colony on the Iberian Peninsula. Their cousins may be bigger, but griffon vultures are more numerous, much more numerous, and they are just as belligerent. None of them will give up a mouthful for lost without fighting for it first. When the biggest birds have finally eaten their fill, the smaller ones, like the black kite and even the Egyptian vulture, can relax a little and make off to their nests with whatever they have been left. That's if other competitors don't snatch it from them, even if they are in flight. A dying quagmire that has been a river or a lake is the most vivid reminder of how merciless summer can be in these latitudes. Months in which rains end up being but a memory, and the sun condemns the weakest or those which are unable to escape. But as almost always happens in nature, where some suffer, others find an opportunity to make good. Oblivious to the fight for survival which is being played out on the banks, this larva of the Iberian ribbed newt continues its process towards becoming an adult in the depths of the pool. Now it only remains for it to reabsorb the external gills which project from its head and to breathe with its lungs to culminate its metamorphosis. There is no doubt that its appetite is already that of an adult. Keep calm. It may leave soon. The tension among the neighbors of the pool is evident. There are fewer and fewer places with water, and this means that awkward visitors appear, such as this Eurasian sparrowhawk. You certainly have to be on your guard when the new arrival is an expert hunter of birds. What luck! The sparrowhawk was feeling more hot than hungry. Something is going to happen in the world of the Spanish red deer. It seems that the imminent change of season encourages them to abandon their life in the thickets. The females are gathering in certain clearings together with their young, which must be both intrigued and frightened. They have never seen a male like those which are now approaching their mothers, as they have only lived with the latter since they were born. The males with new antlers, which are becoming more and more magnificent, defiantly check out the females and the countryside, which will soon be a battlefield. Because the rut is about to begin. They all bellow in their own way and according to their strength, but they all intend to give the same message. Don't you dare challenge me. I am the best. The roars of the males will give way to an inevitable sound when access to the females is at stake. The violent clashing of antlers. The winners get ready to enjoy their victory. Meanwhile, the remaining animals are returning to the dense woodland, resigned to waiting until next year to try again to earn the right to perpetuate their lineage. The sky of Monfragüe confirms that it is one of the cleanest in Europe when night falls to reveal a landscape which looks out onto the immensity of the universe. It is during the night that the red-necked nightjar begins its activity. This unusual bird, which is so hard to see and is only found on the Iberian Peninsula and in North Africa, does not bother about building a home. The female simply lays its eggs on the bare ground, and it is there where both parents will care for and feed their chicks. If they sense a danger, they cover them so that the camouflage of their feathers keeps them safe. But even so, if they continue to feel threatened, they quickly move the chicks to another location. The extraordinary event is finally happening. A new two-tailed pasha is struggling to emerge. After blowing air between its body and the wall of the chrysalis, it manages to break it down and escape. It now only remains for the newborn creature, which originated as a caterpillar on a leaf of the strawberry tree, to unfold all its fascinating beauty.